Speaking of floating on air, my first buy is Mascots Trucking Kids.
What? Bull Nuff alert. My last sale is Chupa Chup wrappers.
You're looking vibrant, relaxed, youthful.
Thank you. Yes, I don't feel any of those things, but
Neither do I. And I don't look at. Wow.
oh god, we've gone full Nuffy. How good is life?
This is the episode I dreaded.
It's the episode that we've all been waiting for. Here we go. You calling award. Come on, Chris. You're not moving.
I can't.
That was some bootleg shit, techno remix, but I thought everyone's heard the original so many times over the last week. I'll mix it up a bit. How you going, mate?
I'm great.
That's good. Hang on a sec. Oh, it doesn't get old.
Yeah, it does. Oh, looks like you're enjoying that. Well,
Cheers. Hang on, let me just cheers our folks at home here. Cheers.
There are. I mean, this is terrible audio podcast viewing. But,
Sorry. Look.
you can explain what you just did.
Oh no, I just cheersed our YouTube viewers, and if you jump on the YouTube, like and subscribe, you'll be able to see that.
You can see what's happened.
And you'll see the kit. I'm in full kit.
Yeah, I'm not, as this will be basically 90 to 120 minutes of hell for me. This is...
Look, I won't drag it on, but as Fly McRae says, shallow losses and deep wins, and I am in a deep part of our winning.
You are. Look,
I may never come out.
I hope you never come out like this again. I do have to say something beforehand.
Let's hear it.
I was
Come on, let it out.
I was wrong. Oh, there we go. I was wrong. There
we go, kids.
I put my hand up, put my hand on my heart. I was wrong.
But just for the listeners who might not know what you're talking about, why were you wrong? What were you wrong about?
Oh, geez, where do I start? I wasn't wrong about trucker caps. I like this fit. Mm-hmm. But I was wrong about the Collingwood Football Club and its premiership aspirations for this year.
Yes, you were indeed.
I said I didn't think they could make finals. I didn't think it was sustainable. And you know what they did, Tim?
You also said they couldn't win the flag. They're at a premiership contention. But yes, go on.
These bastards just kept winning in the unsustainable fashion.
Ain't got no quid in us.
The analytics community is up in arms. The Python models are breaking everywhere.
Shove your analytics straight up there.
Yeah, well, I did. And it's been shoved straight up me. You're not the only one who's basically told me where to shove things.
You know what? It's actually a lesson, and we've talked about this before. Stats should be used as a tool to form an opinion, not as the opinion. So all you nerdburgers out there who are currently eating a Collingwood premiership, just remember that it's a tool. It's not your only. It's your eye test. It's your gut feel. It's all combined.
Look, it wasn't the only reason, but look, I was wrong.
Yeah, no,
Trust me,
you're a big man for saying it. So
it happened 4 times today. I was wrong. You
didn't record it on a podcast. That's the difference.
No, but I was loud enough in my office for people to hear what I was wrong about, because I was a bit unhappy. But anyway, I was wrong.
No, that's all good, mate. It's all good.
Collingwood were unbelievable in the finals. In true Collingwood fashion, I
think our biggest win was 7 points.
They won 3 games in which they looked gone in all of them.
Yeah, I reckon that's fair.
And they basically shoved it up me.
But no, they didn't just shove it up you. They shoved it up the whole community. Caroline Wilson Jordan Lewis, Max Lawton. I've named names before. I'll name them again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hope you're wearing steel caps. Holy crap.
They're the ones that said Collingwood couldn't make it, couldn't sustain it.
Who was the last name you said?
Said you'd never make it. Max Lawton.
Who's that?
You asked me that last time.
Yeah, I know.
It's great. Sorry, Max.
Shout out to you, Max, at home, if you're
good
listening.
on you, Maximilian.
I got no idea who you are.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, obviously you look like you enjoyed it. It was a good day, I'm guessing.
In all seriousness, it was the best footy day of my life. Better than 2010. Like 2010, in a weird way, I always had a little bit of an asterisk because it was that replay. It wasn't like the pure grand final experience. So as much as I enjoyed it back then, I've always craved just a proper September flag. Like I was pretty young in 1990. Still enjoyed it, but wasn't there. But to be there, it's funny when you go to a grand final.
Wouldn't know.
When your team's in it, it's like it's like you're either going to a New Year's Eve party or a funeral, and you don't know which one it is.
I went to a funeral this year.
But you have to prepare either way.
Yeah.
So, like, I was
chomping at the bit, but
I was
you're
chomping.
also...
I think I messaged you in the morning. Like, I turned a little bit superstitious.
You turned it to me.
Sentimental. I was just putting on little, badges and stuff I had as a kid. I was just looking for some sort of anything.
That's wholesome.
It was pretty wholesome. Yeah, I had I had my granddad's ring on that when he passed away a few years ago, he handed it down. I had my uncle's 1983 membership badge, and I had a little badge at my old man. So my old man's in Europe at the moment, so I thought I'd just as I said, I was just looking for anything I could hold on to,
and
any sentimental signs.
And you know what you did? Is you delved into my department.
I did, and I didn't like it at all.
No, how bad is it?
Oh, it's terrible.
It's the worst thing ever.
Horrible thing.
You're uncomfortable, and the mental anguish you go through, if you even so much as a hair moves, you're like, oh, I've completely fucked this for everyone.
Yeah. So, but look, and I made a schoolboy error. I got a, have you ever had a Vietnamese coffee?
Oh, God, no. But we might need a toilet break just...
Well, the Vietnamese coffee is probably the closest thing you can get to crack cocaine. It's probably the last thing you want when you've got a already
upset
racing heart and the nerves are. It's got as much caffeine as you could ever put into a single drink.
Is it iced or is it warm?
Yeah, it's iced. Actually, if you like coffee, you'd love it. I reckon.
Really,
so a little bit more condensed milk than normal milk.
Oh no, thank you.
Okay, it's pretty sweet, but it's got coffee up the wazoo. So I had that, and that was a schoolboy error because that shot. My heart was just pumping out of my chest.
It's like when you... do you ever have vodka Red Bulls?
Oh, yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. Remember having those as like 18 years old?
Yeah, you'd have about 10 of them and you'd think, geez.
And you're like, geez, I'm not feeling too bad right now. And you get home and you're like, when did I get home? Yeah. 3 days since I've slept.
So, but no, the day itself was a ripper and super tense, obviously. I don't know if you saw. A friend of mine, Steph, who I was sitting next to, she took a video unbeknownst to me. So, I was really...
Do you know how I know that you didn't know it was being taken?
Because I squealed like a little girl at the siren?
Not really. It was the chin action.
Yeah,
the
right.
Chinnage.
The chinnage.
It wasn't a great angle from the...
Oh, right. It was a little bit...
Little bit gobble gobble.
A little bit... what was his name? The guy on Neighbours? Harold...
I'll put my hand up and say I've never watched an episode of Neighbours.
Fair enough. Well, if you know Neighbours, you know Harold. If you know Harold, you know the double chin.
But no, it was good. I was happy for you.
No, thanks, mate. It was a great day.
I was happy for multiple people. Obviously, I would love to taste premiership success, but I just have to keep holding on. It's a 20-year anniversary next year for me.
Yeah.
I will say this.
Jeez, that's gone quick, isn't it?
No, it hasn't. It's actually been really slow.
Time flies.
Yeah, time flies when you still talk about it. I put my hand up and said, I was wrong, but I can also put my hand up and say I was right. Do you remember what I said about Port Adelaide?
You say a lot of things about Port Adelaide, in fairness.
I said flag or straight sets.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you did. No, well, there you go. You're right.
Correct. And God, does it feel good to be right?
Was it though?
Just kidding. No, it actually feels awful. It feels like hell. But
there's a lot. I mean, look, I don't know if we're going to have time today, but geez, there's a lot of already the sort of postseason, chess piece moving, and
yeah, we'll do a silly season.
We'll have a look, but
silly
Port
season
Adelaide, yeah,
there's a little bit to get into there, but anyway. I think first off, obviously we have to introduce ourselves. There's been 10 minutes of just
remiss
crap.
of me. Yeah, sorry about that.
This is the refill. You are Tim Buhagiar.
Yep, reigning premiership supporter.
I am Chris Bowen, simp, cuck, loser. And yeah, we're thrilled to be back with you for a bit of
Thank you for indulging that first 10 minutes. And if you're still with us, stick around because
it's going to get worse.
No, it won't. It won't. I promise it won't.
It will.
It's more if you're on the YouTube, you might just get a bit sick of the kit, but otherwise we're all good to go.
Yeah, and if you do get sick of the kit, imagine how I'm feeling right now, or feeling when this was recorded, because you're obviously not watching it live. Look, good introduction. I reckon we throw it over to the headlines as we're returning back to our old format of show. Sandra, welcome in. I hope you're not scared off by that 10 minutes of crap at the start.
G'day, Sandra.
10's Late Night News with Sandra Sully.
We begin with the signing of...
Keeping you informed, keeping you involved, keeping you in touch. Australia's most established late news service, the Late Night News with Sandra Sully. Weeknights on 10.
I think you want me to go first. Correct?
Let's read the first headline. What is it?
Let me just get it here. I didn't want to read it. I did not make this headline for me. I made it for you. But
yeah, but, this is the magic of live podcasting.
Okay.
Read it.
Do I have to? Collingwood has claimed a record equaling 16th premiership with a thrilling 4-point win over the Brisbane Lions in the AFL Grand Final.
A little bit more enthusiasm, please.
Ian/Bobby Hill kicked a career-best 4 goals to claim the Normie Smith medal in the Magpies' epic 90-point to 86-point victory in front of 100,024 spectators at the MCG.
That's a good news story if I've ever heard one. I haven't asked you where you watch it. You watch it at a pub or at home?
Right
at
here.
Home. As a neutral supporter, what were your thoughts on the game as where it sits in terms of all time?
One of the greats, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that you just never seemed to know what was going to happen. There were some big performances.
Oh yeah, unbelievable.
I thought, I don't know how you saw the game, but I just thought Crisp.
I thought Crisp was second best on ground behind Hill. I thought he was unbelievable.
Crisp had some, he had moments, right? Players have moments.
Yeah.
You go, he had 37 possessions or whatever. But I don't even know what possession. Let's say he had 23, 24.
It would have been probably 28, high 20s. Yeah.
Every one of his touches felt like it was impactful. Him breaking away from a clearance, elite hit, just had an absolute monster of a game.
He had a great... And it's funny, like the one goal he missed is the one, probably the easiest shot.
Yeah.
But no, he was enormous. The thing for me that stood out, and I've watched the replay just a couple of times, is the quality of the skills in terms of both sides. Like the goals that were kicked, Bailey's 2 goals, incredible.
Yeah.
Lincoln McCartney kicked a great goal on the boundary.
Oh, gee whiz.
And then you got the Myercheck goal, the goal, just the skill level across the ground was enormous.
Yeah.
Plus, and it was just, it was like high scoring, then it was an arm wrestle, then it was high score. It had everything. It was definitely a classic. And yeah, as I said, when I watched the replay, and this is not just because we won, but it goes quick.
It does actually go super quick.
It's which is unusual. Usually it's sort of, there's times where it can lag a bit, but it just felt like the whole game had, it was always something on the tension, the drama, the atmosphere. Crazy.
Yeah, it's funny because the first quarter, obviously, Collingwood.
Yep.
Second quarter, well and truly Brisbane.
Yep.
How did you feel going into halftime? Because I went into halftime thinking, I was like, Collingwood's in
No,
real
well, I
trouble
said
here.
I was sitting next to a mate of mine, Timmy Hodges. G'day if you're listening.
Hello, Timmy.
And I said to him, because just knowing that Brisbane do their best work in the second and third quarters, but mainly the second all year. That the second is where they really put the foot down. So
Sounds like you've just used a bit of analytics there.
Yeah, but it's
shout out to the community.
But
welcome back.
That's helping to form my opinion.
I'm just saying, welcome back to the community.
Yeah, look, I'm an analytics guy from way back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Good to be back. And I said to him, they always do their best work in the second quarter. So the fact that they hadn't put us away or we weren't 3 or 4 goals down was a really good sign. Having said that, it came down to the last kick, 4 points. So
we allowed to talk about the free kick advantage.
Yeah, there was a few, I reckon, 50-50 ones like that. But yeah, you can talk about the advantage for sure.
The umpiring was actually pretty good.
Pretty good, I think. The advantage rule was paid as it's meant to be paid. The same thing happened to Collingwood against the Giants the week before when Collingwood got a free kick and it wasn't heard.
Yeah,
kicked out of
it happens.
It happens a lot. So yeah, but talk about it if you want.
It happens. No, I just got to say, you feel for them.
But
I also acknowledge that it is.
Yeah, that didn't cost them the game. We don't know what would have happened.
Hear me out.
No.
I'm not keep your powder dry.
Oh yeah.
I feel for them, but I also, in the same breath, I'm not saying that they were robbed.
No,
it's a part of the game. Unfortunately, when you play a fast-paced game, stuff like that happens.
I mean, if you wanted to look at it, I reckon Nick Dacos got 1, maybe 2 head highs he shouldn't have. He ducked. I reckon Zach Bailey was inside the 5 metres when he spoiled Cox.
Outside 5.
He wasn't outside 5.
Outside 5.
And then I reckon the Markov one was super harsh as well, considering he was trying to get away from the mark. He wasn't just doing nothing, and he couldn't hear. So there's a lot of those moments throughout the game.
Yeah, there's heaps of them.
Both sides.
Yeah.
So, look, I know that one singled out because it was late in the game and blah, blah, blah. But I think generally speaking, the umpiring was pretty good.
I agree. I thought the umpiring was pretty good. I thought they had a really good feel for the game.
How do we feel about the centre bounce after that?
Holy crap.
What a great start.
Oh, my God. Grand final day.
100,024 people ready to go. Millions watching around the country and around the world. And here we go.
Recall.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Throw it up.
Brisbane and Collingwood Ruckman, can you please renominate so I know who it is? Coming out the back, play on.
I mean, if that wasn't the death knell for it.
Holy shirts and pants. Talk about laying an egg.
Yeah, it was a massive egg.
That is.
And I don't blame the umpire.
I feel bad. I felt bad in that moment.
Yeah.
Because that's a soul crushing.
It is, and they get picked for their bouncing skill, which they shouldn't. Again, we've had this conversation, but that was. I mean, if that wasn't the death knell, then gee whiz.
I think that equivalent is like a PGA Tour Pro on the first tee, final day, the Masters in the lead, topping the ball and it not leaving the tee box.
Yeah,
which I know a lot about.
Hasn't made the ladies' tees.
Hasn't made the ladies' tees, and just everyone's watching and everyone's laughing in your face.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that could be the death of it. But
well, hopefully it is.
Yeah, look, I thought Bobby Hill, deserving of the norm, had a pretty good game. I went for crisp, though, because I just thought, even though it was a 1A, 1A minus.
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion.
If I was voting norms, I would have gone crisp, Hill, and then probably Mitchell probably Mitchell.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. What do you think of Sidebottom's game?
Look, it was one of those ones maybe where he had just a normal Sidebottom game until he smacked that one from 55. That's what he does. Though he's an incredible player. Pendlebury's last quarter was outrageous.
Yeah.
But again, it was, as I said, it was such a close game, such a highly skilled game.
You've obviously watched the game back a few times. Was there anyone from Brisbane who you sort of look back and go, oh, geez, they were yay or they were nay?
I think the last quarter showed just how much Harris Andrews was kept quiet in the first 3.
Yeah.
Because in the last quarter, he really, I think he took 3 intercept marks. He really started to make his presence felt. And I was like, oh, geez. So Frampton, I know it's a fair bit of talk about him and not getting many touches.
He kept him goalless.
But he was basically a tagger. He's a big, dopey tagger. And he did a great job because Harris Andrews was probably if not their best. Well, he won their best and fairest. So yeah, I thought it was probably pretty evident just how influential he could have been by his last quarter. But yeah, what about you? Any?
I don't know. I was coming to it thinking Cam Rayner was going to have a big
Pretty
day.
quiet,
He was
yeah.
pretty quiet for his standards, and I think he's got that like burst, goal scoring sort of ability, which sort of upset me a little bit because I quite like him as a player.
I'll have to look back and see who was on him a lot.
Yeah,
Because whoever was on him nullified him pretty well.
Yeah, look, Caden, I've sung the praises of Caden Coleman for a little while.
Oh, he was great, obviously. Yeah.
Obviously was pretty much let run free a little bit for a large part of it, but
He had a great final series, though.
a great final series, Super Bowl user.
Yeah.
Daniel Rich is Super Bowl user left footer.
Well, Coleman took Richard's spot.
Yeah, I mean, talk about that for a like replacement. Like, yeah, spoiled for riches.
Pun intended.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's how slow I am. But yeah.
No, it was a great game. So, again, I don't want to...
Yep. Happy to tie a bow and move on from this crap.
All right, very good. The Penrith Panthers are NRL premiers once again. That's 3, count them, 3 in a row. After defeating the Brisbane Broncos in the 2023 Grand Final, the Panthers became the first team in 40 years to win 3 straight, and their comeback was actually outrageous. It was outrageous. It was a record-breaking 16-point deficit with 26 minutes to go at Accor Stadium, and that man, Nathan, I can see clearly now, won his second Clive Churchill medal, and that last try was a ripper. Bring the Panthers back from the dead. And
He's chewing grass.
it just looked like it was over, right? It was over.
Yeah, full disclosure, I was heavily on the Broncos.
Yeah.
So, and I actually said watching the game, I watched the game with my brother and a friend of mine, and I actually said that this wasn't over. So,
Even at that 16-point deficit.
yeah, I
right.
said if they can hold on here, like this is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate the Panthers. Full disclosure, I hate the Panthers.
Yeah.
I actually quite like Nathan Cleary, but there's a lot of really
there's a lot of
there's been a lot of marinating flog sauce operators in that team.
Yeah.
Larome Duai is potentially one name if you can read between the lines there.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable game of rugby league. If you're a neutral fan who doesn't really watch a lot of rugby league, like just a
Hand up. Yep, that's me.
and you watch that,
Yep.
you'd be hard pressed to not be more invested next year. I think
Yeah, it was just one of those. It was a great advertisement for the game. Absolutely.
massive advertisement for the
I
game.
mean, if they can replicate something similar to that in Las Vegas, then they will maybe make some inroads into that market.
Yeah, so it was an unbelievable game. I feel like, do you remember the Super Bowl from a few years ago where Atlanta was up by like 24 or something and lost?
Was it against Kansas?
No, it was against Brady.
Oh, yeah.
It's like one of those, you're 99.9% winning, winning that amount of time, and you lose, and it's like there's no coming back.
No, that haunts you.
That haunts you and your grandkids and their grandkids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty shattered from the Broncos as they had a couple of really good...
But they've got a young list, right? Like, you'd think they'd be ready to charge again next year.
Yeah, they need another halfback. Their halfback is on I think he might retire.
Okay.
But yeah, they've got like arguably the best fullback in the game, in my opinion, one of the best wingers.
Yep.
Plenty to like. Hate the Broncos as well, full disclosure.
Yeah, I don't like the Broncos.
But yeah, I think the Storm's in for could be in for a bit of a hard pressed time to make the next few grand finals.
Well, did Bellamy do the right thing by hanging on? Maybe he should have pulled the pin when he was going to.
Honestly, he's given me more flags than I've had cup of tea. So,
yeah. He can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants as far as I'm concerned. If he wants to coach another 10 years, I'll support him all the way.
Yep.
But, I just think Penrith, like Nathan Cleary is 25.
Still probably hasn't hit his prime.
No, if he has, and he's had Origin success, but if he has, say New South Wales going a run for, say, 3-4 years.
Off the back of him. Yeah.
Off the back of him. He wins another couple of flags.
Goat?
I think he's already chewing grass. Whether or not he gets told off for doing it or not, I'm not sure. But you can't deny the makings are all there.
Yeah.
So terrible result for me. AFL NRL double, just shocking.
Well, terrible result for the state of Queensland. Let's be honest.
There are a lot of Brisbane fans who are
still
probably
licking their wounds.
Still licking their wounds.
But or they've just smashed a few 4X and some Bundies and they don't give a shit.
They've moved on.
They
got bigger things to fry in Queensland.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't really like sport up there.
No.
But well done, Penrith.
Well done.
I think it's me next.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Now, this is an interesting one because I don't know if you've watched any of this or know some of the shenanigans that happened, but Europe has regained the Ryder Cup from a battling United States a couple of weeks ago now, wrapping up
It was during the grand final, right?
During the grand final, yeah. Wrapping up and winning 16.5 points to 11.5, despite a late charge by the Americans on singles Sunday. The US now remain without a win on European soil since 1993.
Jesus.
And neither team have lifted the trophy away from home in 11 years.
Home ground advantage. You want the home shorts, don't you?
Yeah. So, I don't know. You're obviously not as much of a golf muffy like me.
I'm not as passionate about it as you are.
But a lot of controversy around this one. So it was in Italy, which is in Europe.
I am aware of Italy's location. Thank you.
And the Americans were treated pretty. It was
hostile.
It was an away game.
Yeah,
it was definitely an away game.
Well, if there's one thing about the Italians, they don't give a shit about.
No.
And
the crowds were tough. There was a bit of a fracas with Rory McIlroy and the caddy of one of the players for the US.
Which US player do you know?
I believe it was Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah, okay. He's got a reputation as being a bit of a...
he does have a bit of a reputation. So apparently there was a report came out during it that the American team has... Because they were smashed out of the gate.
Yeah, right.
Like some big loss. So the format... So there was one loss which was 9-7, which meant that the European team was 9 holes up.
Oof.
Like... You're all professional golfers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's a big boy.
That's a pantsing. Yep.
And there was a bit of a rumor that because the players don't get paid for the President's Cup or the Ryder Cup,
so but they love it, right?
Well, apparently not Patrick Cantlay. Okay. So
he wants his money.
He was apparently pretty vocal that he should be paid and they should be paid to play, and he actually came out without wearing a hat. And it was apparently a protest.
Well, how much money do these blokes need?
If you need money to go to Italy, for 1 week,
represent your country, and play golf, I mean,
you need serious.
Give yourself an uppercut, son.
Give yourself 2.
Yeah, okay.
Give yourself the left and the right. So there was a massive article, and it said that the American team was split down the middle, and that some were happy to just be there, and the others were like, "No, this is bullshit. We need to be paid." And so a bunch of the players came out on the Sunday without hats on, and
that's a very strong protest, guys.
Oh yeah, so strong, and they were
just copying the UV straight.
And all of the fans were giving it to them,
and
so the American players were doing the fake hat. Tip of the cap, all while they were getting smashed.
Yeah.
So it was
feels like a pretty American thing to have happen, to be
honest.
Oh,
unbelievable American thing to happen. But yeah, for professional sports, probably one of the biggest wambulance behaviours I think I've come across.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So it was unbelievable viewing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because there's so much emotion.
Yeah,
you just don't normally see in golf. So
no, well, it's great.
Absolutely
all for it.
Unbelievable format, and very happy that Europe won.
Go you Europeans! Get up there.
Go the Euros. Go the sterling. Wait, what's a sterling? That's English. No. Sorry, scratch that. No.
Go what's the euro?
Go the EU.
Oh, the lira. It used to be the lira.
Go the lira.
There we go. Max Verstappen, Maximum Max has crowned a season of domination by securing his third Formula One World Championship in Qatar. The Red Bull driver won his first in highly controversial circumstances, as we remember, against Lewis Hamilton back in 2021. But since then, he's now won 3 on the trot, 3 in 664 days.
Not a lot of time.
Not a lot of time. And McLaren's Oscar Piastri enjoyed the strongest weekend of his rookie season at the Qatar Grand Prix. He won the sprint race from pole position and finished a career-best second in the Grand Prix behind Big Boy Max, which, if I'm not mistaken, means that's 2 podiums in a row for Piastri.
Podium streak, baby. Going streaking
and he
through
was,
the quad.
What was the stat I heard? He was the youngest on the podium since...
Great question.
It might have been Max or Lewis or one of those sort of...
It would have
one of those goats.
It probably would have been Max, if I'm being honest.
Because he's only 19.
Maybe. He's 19 or 21. Question without notice.
Question without notice.
He's one of the two.
He's very young and he's going to be a superstar.
Absolute superstar. The nerve he held in the sprint race is a short race.
Yeah.
But there was a bit of a fracas in the sprint race, and which meant there was safety cars, so he had to hold off Max, who's all he's done is just for the last 664 days or whatever that was, is just win.
Just a win pig.
He's just oink oink. He's just rolling on his F1 car in mud.
Yep, just loves the slops.
So,
can I ask, are McLaren back?
Oh, big time.
So what's happened in the space of 12 months ever since...
ever since I sold them.
Ever since you sold them, ever since Dan left, they've just got their shit together, right?
Yeah, it's hard for me to actually say, because what they've done is they've just gone through upgrades. Like every team has like a massive upgrades package, right? They'll bring it for a certain part of the season. And what that means, I couldn't tell you. I'm not a car man. I've got no idea about any of the actual, what upgrading the floor does.
Yeah, your mechanical sort of
the mechanical side of things is
your engineering side of things.
Honestly, so far lost on me. It's not funny.
That's fine.
So
I'm just from an outsider looking in.
Yeah,
they've I think both of them have been on the podium last 2.
They have. They've increasingly gotten better since they started bringing these upgrades, and I think what's happened is, what takes time to develop things.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no, the due date might be here, but like sometimes stuff happens when you're doing this sort of work. I think. Yeah, it's probably not a shock to anyone.
The earth is slow, but the ox is patient.
Correct.
But I think the F1's better when McLaren's competitive.
Yeah, I wish that Zach Brown wasn't there.
Yeah.
Still, because I think he's a super unlikable person. But I tell you what, for a rookie, Oscar Piastri, like he may be Australian, we may be biased, he is having one of the best rookie seasons.
Oh, 100%.
Like in Yonkers.
No, he's a real deal.
Yeah, and you know what? He had a little bit of a challenge when Carlos Sainz was his teammate. This Lando Norris is but obviously didn't with Ricciardo, and he's got a fight on his hands.
Yeah. I don't reckon Lando is number 1 driver as of 25.
Oh, I'd say next year he gets overtaken, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, which is
he's pretty much. Oh, sorry.
The transition happens next year, and then as of 25, it's Oscar.
Yeah, because you know what, I don't reckon he's up for the fight.
No, it seems to me like he
he's a sookie operator,
a little bit prissy, a little bit
Very prissy.
Toys out of the cot pretty quickly.
Yeah, which happened on the weekend.
Yeah, right.
He was told to, stay in place, and he was, wah. This should be whatever.
He knows it.
Yeah. Full of excuses, but I don't care. My boy, first and second in 2 races on the weekend.
Yep.
Hip,
hip.
Hooray.
Woo-hoo.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Hooray, Oscar. Cha-cha.
He's back. F1's back. Ricardo has also re-signed for next year, so he'll be back at AlphaTauri.
Well,
potentially.
Checker.
Jesus Christ.
Checker's he's under the pump.
Oh, I don't know if there's anyone more under the pump in world sport than this man right now.
Yep, I think he might be.
I've got a good feeling that he may be.
Yep.
But we don't want to see that.
No.
Not at all. We would not want to see that.
No, of course we don't. Why don't we want to see that?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay, we want to see that.
We're actively cheering for that.
Yep.
Did you happen to see Lance Stroll's little song and dance from this race as well?
No, did he have a bit of a meltdown?
Well, yeah, big time. So he didn't, I think it was after qualifying, basically qualified 17th or whatever. He's having a shocking run of it.
Yep.
This is borderline, honestly, it kind of looks like you and me in a hair growing competition.
Jeez.
It looks poor.
That looks very poor.
Yeah. And so he basically got out
Unless it's facial hair, and then it's beautiful.
And I'm still losing in that. But basically what happened, he got out of the car, through the steering wheel.
Okay, not ideal.
So Nico Rosberg pointed out that, the steering wheel is worth about $100,000. And while it might not seem like it makes a huge difference, it actually scratched a part of the car, which hurts the aerodynamics.
Yep.
It's also a bratty thing to do, to throw $100,000.
Well, I mean, Daddy has to pay for it, but it's fine. But I wonder whether it's the car or the driver in this circumstance.
It's the driver, but that's not the real story.
Right.
So his personal trainer was there, and his personal trainer sort of put his finger up and said, no, you won't do this, and sort of got in his way. And he, you can't actually see it on camera, but you can see it. It's hard to describe.
He manhandled him?
He shoved this man into a wall, what looks like very hard. Now, if his dad is not the team owner, that's honestly grounds for pack your shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just adds to the drama. We love to see it, but maybe he's feeling the pinch as well.
He's more than feeling the pinch. He's melting down.
Yeah. Well,
I absolutely hate to see that as well.
Again,
it's devastating.
Again, the sarcasm font is being used.
Yes, it is. But well done to Max. Mainly well done to Oscar.
Yeah, go Oscar.
Go Oscar. Last story. The NHL can officially tick off playing games in the Southern Hemisphere off their to-do list. The Arizona Coyotes and the Los Angeles Kings played 2 action-packed preseason games in front of 25,000 people at Melbourne's Rod Laver Arena.
Including you twice?
Including me 3 times. I went to practice on Friday, baby.
There you go.
The NHL Global Series in Melbourne was deemed a massive success by the NHL, with growing speculation that this may lead to a regular occurrence of games in Australia.
Question without notice.
Yes.
Was it a massive success in your eyes?
Absolutely.
Now, I know you would have, this is pig and shit stuff for you, so it's Christmas Day.
Best weekend of my life. Easily.
But was the support of other people, the packed out stadium, were you expecting that going in?
Huge.
Were you expecting that though?
I was expecting close to a sellout.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting 13,000, 12,500 or whatever.
Yeah.
It was. An absolute success.
Yeah, great.
Australia and New Zealand has a huge hockey community, which, for a large part is just relatively...
been malnourished.
Well, absolutely been malnourished. And people came from everywhere. The Friday was like an open practice. They had 5,000 people at it.
Awesome.
There was a little bit of a hiccup on the Friday when the and once again, I hate this almost could be the I called this and I was right episode. Because when I walked in there, as someone who played hockey, you get a sense of what the rink the temperature that it should feel.
Yep.
And I actually said to my brother, I said, it's too warm in here.
Remember what I asked you about the temperature in Melbourne? And you said, no, it should be right. They play in Vegas.
Yeah, well, that wasn't necessarily, that wasn't our weather problem.
No, but it was more...
That was them.
Them not knowing the right atmosphere.
But they should know because they're not like Australian people doing the ice.
Right.
So what
did they just shut the bed?
They didn't. No, they didn't shut the bed. But basically, what happened was, it was a little bit too warm. The Kings came out, did their practice. The ice didn't look amazing. It was still well and truly usable.
Yeah.
But they basically said the Coyotes were like, nah, look, we'll go practice in Docklands. To basically give the crew,
chance to get their shit right.
Yeah, which they did. The ice for the next 2 days was absolutely schmick, and I could tell as soon as I walked in that like it was
that's better.
Yeah,
that's better
because I was sitting there in a t-shirt and shorts. You should not be doing that at a rink.
Yeah.
So look, I'm not going to say a lot of groundbreaking stuff. Best weekend of my life.
Yeah, awesome. I'm glad you loved it. Did you buy a little bit of merch? Am I seeing a little bit of merch on you?
You're not. But I did.
It says Arizona, but...
but no, actually completely sold out almost on the Friday. They actually underestimated.
Yeah, right.
Much to the sheer grin of Magic.
He's not happy.
Who was doing laps of Rod Laver Arena just trying to
find something.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't... It's not true. Can't be true. Sorry, sir, it is.
Sorry, sir, we are sold out. That's the sold out side has gone up.
Yeah, but no, they didn't expect... There's no way they expected...
well, that's good. I suppose that's why they deem it such a success, and they probably go in next time and they'll, double their efforts.
Well, there's talk that they may be back in 2025.
Okay.
So...
For a pre-season again?
The same sort
deal.
of setup.
Yeah.
And there's talk from the heavy hitters in the NHL that this was always the plan. It was to not be a pit stop and then never come back because that doesn't really...
Well, it doesn't grow a market, does it?
No, it doesn't grow a market. So I think it will likely be LA.
Yeah. Because
there's I was listening to something from a guy I actually got to meet who was a Hockey Hall of Famer, which was pretty cool. I literally bolted in the middle of the game because I saw him sitting down. My dad's like, where the fuck are you going? And he was talking about... So he works for the LA Kings and he was talking about Melbourne and LA tourism... have like a deal.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And the LA Kings have sort of come to a verbal agreement with Collingwood, with like a sort of...
Oh, yeah, because I saw them with the...
they were...
With the Pies, and they were at the MCG prior to that Friday night game.
They were.
Yep, that makes sense. And Mason Cox...
he dropped the puck.
You
couldn't hear anything he said. There was
a bit of booing.
There was a little bit of booing, but...
I love that, though. It's passionate.
Yeah, honestly...
So what did this Hall of Famer, was he taken aback when a big burly Chris Bowen said, mate, what's the haps?
Luke Robitaille, his name is. I can't even explain it, like an utter legend.
Yeah.
I was just, I almost don't know what to say. I just went up to him and basically just said, I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I just would love the chance to grab a photo and shake your hand during the game. And he was like... He actually asked me if I was enjoying it, and I was like, obviously, I'm like rolling around in mud here. But yeah, it was such an unbelievable weekend. Got to go with Caitlin one day, got to go with my brother to practice, and then my dad on the Sunday. And yeah, honestly, walking in and seeing the ice for the first time, got a bit
emotional,
got a bit choked up. And then on the Saturday, like sitting down, like sort of watching the players warm up and everything and seeing like 12,000 people, couldn't say anything for, I reckon, 5 minutes. Yeah. Like there were tears.
Yep.
And just like still
good on you.
Still couldn't believe it happened.
Yeah.
And I ran into a bunch of people. There. I ran into a friend of mine, Andrew, who's been doing a lot of journalism work with Australian hockey for years. And that's not really a highly lucrative.
No, that's a grind, I'm sure.
That's a grind. And you know what? He got full NHL media access this week. So, he got to interview the players, awesome. all the stuff. And, seeing stuff like that, like really meant a lot because there are so many people here who are like me, who are tragics, this stuff means that weekend means the world.
Well,
to them.
hopefully it's not a once in a lifetime opportunity. Hopefully it is a once in every couple of year opportunity.
Yeah, if they come back, it doesn't matter if they play anywhere in New Zealand or Australia, I'm there.
You're there, yeah.
Unbelievable weekend and a massive success. Like I didn't even see it going as well as it did.
Yeah, great.
So hopefully, that's the start of something. That's
well, as you say, occurrence. Like if they're fed income about growing the market down here, you have to keep watering the plants.
Exactly, you can't leave them to die.
No, you got to fertilise them.
One foot in the grave. But that's
the news.
That's the news. That's
bloody
the headlines.
jam packed,
action packed.
Yep, love that.
More flog Collingwood talk.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty. What time is it?
It's Australia's favourite segment time.
It's time for the stock market.
Tonight we're going to be talking about the stock market as really a woo for the stock market.
I was just trying to figure out what the hell was going on in the stock market.
This is your episode. You go first.
Again, I promise to everyone at home, everyone watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. This will be my only Collingwood-related buy.
That's a lie.
I think it is. I am going to buy Craig Daddy McRae.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. Welcome to the buy list.
Welcome.
Welcome to my portfolio.
Welcome, Lord and Saviour. But I'm not going to buy him for the obvious reasons of getting us to a flag, blah, blah, blah. That's obviously very nice. But I'm going to buy two things. The way he's turned a club around has been unbelievable. Yep. I was thinking about this on the way here. Our first refill was in the pre-season of 2022, and Collingwood are coming off 17th on the ladder. And if you had said to me, Budge...
Take me back to that day.
He had said... If you had said to me then, you will finish, you will lose the prelim by a point, and then the next season you'll win the flag, I would have said, mate, you are talking absolute crap. Give yourself an uppercut, son, because that is
pretty much what you've said every episode since then anyway.
Yeah, true. So I think the turnaround has been enormous. But the story that I was on AFL 360, I don't know if you saw it, their whole theme this year was climb the steps.
Oh, yes.
Climb the steps to, do the work, climb the steps to get there. And he told a story about how late December he took all the Collingwood players to the MCG.
Yep.
And all the and staff as well.
Last
coaching.
Year?
Yeah, so in the pre-season before this season, so late December.
Gotcha, yes.
Yep. And he got them to climb up and down the stand of the MCG, do the steps until they were all buggered.
Yeah.
So pre-season training.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, he sat them all in the nosebleeds and said, if you don't do the steps, this is where we'll be watching the grand final from. Ooh. And I was like,
Boom roasted.
It's
deep. That's deep.
That's deep. And I thought that's creative. Like creatively, that's bloody good.
Yeah.
I reckon that's really clever. So, no, I'm buying him just for the way he's turned around a club, the joy he's given over the last two seasons, the style of play. Good on the man. One man can make a massive difference.
He can. I love that little cliche stuff like that.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
Yeah.
My buy is actually very similar.
Oh, hello.
My first buy is the Adazero Adios Pro Evo 1. Now, you're probably not sure what that is.
No, if I didn't have these sunnies on, you'd probably see my bewildered look.
Well, let me tell you what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're the latest running shoe which is creating all the buzz in the running world.
I did see that a marathon record might have been broken.
A marathon record was beaten by 2 minutes.
Jesus,
and I have it here. Her name is Tigasit Asafa. She smashed a very old world record by over 2 minutes to do a marathon in 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds.
Was it the Chicago Marathon, if I'm not mistaken?
Great question.
I think it
question
was.
without notice.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Let's just say that.
That was. Thank you.
But this is a shoe which a lot of running old school running people, like I'm guessing not snowflake, sorry, like old man yelling at cloud of operators are saying this is essentially like doping, but for shoes.
Yeah, but I'm sure when they were running in the latest shoe compared to the old shoes 20 years before then, they weren't complaining about
100%.
it. So I don't have an issue with technology.
No, either do I. I think it's great.
You still got to friggin' run.
Put fucking rocket ships on your feet for all. You've still
got to run.
You've still got to run, and she's run that marathon in 2 hours.
So do we know why the shoes are so good? Like what they do?
I was looking into it. So I think there's been a few shoes that have been banned. I got rabbit hole stuff.
Yeah,
obviously a huge runner myself.
Big time.
The reason why shoes get banned, and there might be marathon or running fitness nuffies who will be like, you're wrong here, but I'm not wrong. So
call in.
Up. Call me, DM me.
Hit Chris's DMs, he loves it.
Yeah, love it. There's like 25 waiting, which are all just calling. the height, height and the cushion is like there's a certain limit you can get before it becomes illegal.
Yeah, right.
Because you can't be basically running in like stilettos.
Yeah.
And it's actually the reason why this shoe apparently is so great is the height measured with the weight.
Yep.
Like everyone who's used it has said like this is like unbelievable. Like
crazy.
I've never felt anything like this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the swimsuit, right? Remember
exactly.
When that swimsuit came out where all the world records were getting smashed.
Yeah.
So I'm all for this.
No, I agree. This is the evolution of man. This is what
like we don't run around in woolen footy jumpers anymore.
Exactly. As I said, the people of the bygone era had it better than the people of the era before them. Like it's going to happen in 50 years. We'll be talking about whatever technology. So
yeah.
No, as I said, you still got to put in the miles. You still got to run.
Literally, pardon the pun.
Yeah.
Still got to put in the miles.
Yeah.
Got to put in the work. So that's my first buy.
No, I love it.
I can't afford the shirt. I can't afford them. So I'm hoping this.
Geez, I can only imagine their price. So.
I think it's like $800.
So less than
maybe $800
Adidas
US.
Less than an Adidas Gucci collab
with Kit Kat.
My next buy is local cricket heroes.
Oh, nice.
I'm buying the local cricketers.
Sam Staples in the semi-final against Riverside.
Well, no, I'm not getting that specific.
Oh, okay.
I'm buying the ones who face fast bowlers with no sight screen.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about it the other day. You've got some blokes who probably borderline, let's be honest, they chuck it. They'll come in.
Heath Jenkins.
You know, they're probably smack bang full of steroids, angry pills, whatever. They'll take
everyone here.
Yeah, they'll take whatever, they'll do whatever, they'll throw it, they'll beam you. They don't give a shit. And the batsmen have to face this. Yep. No sight screen. You've got maybe gum trees, maybe a couple of red Corollas, and you've got to try amongst all that find the red pill that's been thrown by some angry, iced up, bloody fiend. And they still just do it, you know, with a smile on their face.
And what do they get out of it?
Just the love of the game.
What do you get out of playing local cricket?
Just the love of the game.
You get zero out of playing local cricket.
Well, you get zero financially, mentally, physically. None of those benefit you.
And then you come home and you're in trouble for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, and then you cop it sweet for the next week.
Yeah.
But they still butter up and they do it again and they'll face some other lunatic throwing the pill at their head without any idea where the hell it is.
They hit the winning runs.
Yep.
And for that night, they're King Kong.
So I'm saluting our local cricket heroes who put their
Here's to you.
body on the line and week after week get it done for no advantage in life whatsoever.
Now, this question is your answer will probably both our answers will probably appeal to maybe a fair percentage of our listenership.
I'd like to think so.
Who was your favourite local cricketer?
Oh, geez, that is a good question without notice. Well, I played with a guy called Tommy Trinder, who was a lightning left arm, very good bowler, angry as. He's one of these blokes I'm talking about. Screw loose.
Yep.
Angry man. But very good cricketer. I love playing with Tommy as a fellow lefty. Look, there's a heap. There's a heap, to be honest with you. What about you? You got a standout?
Jim Tyrrell.
Big Jim.
Big Jim.
Fan of the show?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
If he's not a fan of the show before, he should be now.
Yeah, well, caught up with his brother after the grand final, as luck would have it. But why Jim?
I remember as a kid, right? Because I didn't like playing juniors and seniors.
Yep.
And so what I would do, because I was never good enough to make the A grade team, obviously, is I would hang around and be just like I'd have my whites and because I just watched the A grade anyway. And if they needed a fielder. So I actually I went on a couple of times. Yep. And I remember him coming off one day looking at his figures and it was like, and this is a proper local cricket, right?
Yeah.
And it was like 29 overs or something, like 3 for 40.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous. And he looked at his figures and he looked at me and he goes, expensive. But I remember a lot of my early memories of like lower plenty cricket.
Yeah.
Was watching him bowl.
Yeah.
Just a stalwart, one of the most reliable.
Oh, look, Glenn McGrath, just drop it on the same spot.
Our lower plenty's Glenn McGrath.
Yeah,
that's not a stretch.
No, absolutely.
And I appreciate those bowlers more than the what you were talking about, the erratic, lightning quick, wild things.
Wild bastards, yeah.
So shout out to Jim, shout out to Timmy Trinder.
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yep,
Sorry,
yep.
Tommy.
No, shout out to all the local heroes.
Yep.
This one's for you.
This one's for you guys. That's a good one.
Oh, thanks.
My second buy, that's a hard one to follow. My second one is, and we kind of touched on it before, hostile golf crowds.
Yeah, love it.
Need more of this.
Yep.
Need more of this.
Yep.
I need, and we saw it with the President's Cup.
Yep.
So Patrick Reed was in, I think, the middle of one scandal, and basically the President's Cup here, he'd tee off, and all the Aussie fans had just been screaming at the ball, get in the bunker, get in the bunker. Like, for too long, golf has been quiet please.
Yeah.
Quiet please, clap.
And there's still a place for that.
There is still a place for that.
So my question is to you, again, without notice, how does golf get a bit more passion and a bit more fire into it without disturbing the traditions of it, I suppose?
Great question. Not one I was super. I put a lot of thought into. So
is it more like your live style? Do they need to go down that route, or?
Look, I think you still need some calm holes.
Yeah.
But there's like the party hole.
Yeah.
The waste management.
Should that be more common?
Absolutely. Every tournament needs something like that.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying go out and put a 10,000 seat, stadium around a par 3, but have a hole where Calvin Harris or David Guetta or Tiesto is there. Bring him out for the weekend. He's playing sets all day.
Yeah.
Cheap liquor.
Look, I think I would imagine if you're a golfer and you know that, all right, the 10th hole is the party hole, mentally that's the hole.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're mentally prepared for it, it shouldn't be a problem. If everyone has to face the same conditions, it shouldn't be a problem, right?
Well, James Nitties, who played on the PGA Tour and was actually leading the waste management,
yeah.
when interviewed him, he said that he could hear it from 2 holes away.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's what you want. Like we want to see.
Well, sports entertainment.
Entertainment, but I think with golf, right? The golfers are so good,
Yeah.
and we're so bad at golf that we want to see them come to our level.
Yeah.
And so,
best way to do that's just to get smashed and abuse them.
yeah, like let's make things more hostile.
Yeah,
like
I
we
love
need
it.
more rivalries. Like
Yeah. No, I think anything that can only help. All that stuff can only help.
100%. I think the more team style events.
Yeah.
Like the Ryder Cup. I know it's super hard to create because you're not going to go and like create like a Collingwood Carlton made
No,
of just
exactly. But it's more
American.
a personal rivalry or a
like a match play
or a national rivalry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
maybe we should look at an Australian New Zealand one and maybe
flog them.
maybe start our own little Anzac one.
we would flog them. They've only got one good golfer. We've got a plethora.
Oh well, from baby steps.
If I was a New Zealander, I would probably be pushing a professional status in that country.
Wow.
And I'm a decade away here. They're rubbish.
Oh, and thanks and hello to all our New Zealand golfers listening.
Hello to everyone in Aotearoa, North and South Islands,
Yes, hello and welcome.
and goodbye.
And they've switched off. My third buy is the AFL trade period.
Oh,
I bloody love it.
do you?
I'll be honest.
You're a sicko.
It's better than Christmas. No, I don't love the periphery shit. I don't love the trade radio stuff and all that. And look, they do a great job, I'm sure, and the sponsors, I'm sure, love it. And hello to them all. But I just love the actual excitement of, like, you know, we're not even 2 weeks after winning the flag, and I'm already horny for 24 because Lockie Schultz is going to come to the Pies. You know what I mean?
A player you never looked at twice.
Exactly. And like,
And you're like, oh, he's arguably the Wayne Gretzky of small forwards.
yeah, and suddenly he's become Gary Ablett Jr. meets Cyril Rioli. But
He
just,
could be
you
a
know,
400 gamer.
But it does it gives hope, and it's just, I don't know, I've always loved it. You know, like if you're a Swan supporter, if there's any out there, you know, you're getting Grundy, you're getting Taylor Adams. Suddenly you're like, oh, geez, this is, you know, it just
reload.
It's hope, I suppose. What it is, it's 8 days of hope.
Yeah, you know what?
Excitement and what could be, what might be. Oh, well, is Tom Hawkins coming to Collingwood? What's going on? Like, it's just all that. It's all hypothetical shit, and 5% of it gets done. But
I guess it kind of signals your team's intent as well.
Yeah, true.
Which is like a huge thing.
True. Yeah. Where do they think they are? Are they going heavy on the draft? Okay.
Because it says a lot, really.
Yeah,
about
you're right.
what sort of business they're doing and how much of it.
Yeah.
But
I do love it. I do love it.
Yeah, no, it is a bit. I'm a sicko for it too.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much of a sicko as you.
I'm sure
find out about it soon.
there's probably more sickos because I don't listen to trade radio and all that. But I do.
No, neither do I.
I will look at the.
Is our personal friend of the show and the Green Wedges?
Riley Beveridge.
Is he on trade radio?
Well, no, I think he's more the AFL based. Gettable, that's
Gettable, which we can give a shout out to.
No, that's what I do listen to because that is a good program. Him and Cal Toomey, Kick It to Me.
They do a
great job. So shout out to our boys there.
Yeah, if you're genuinely curious about the draft and those
two boys are all over it. Yeah,
gee whiz, they're all over it like white on rice.
They're not doing it for the clicks. They're not doing it for the for the headlines. They're doing it because they know.
Yep, very good.
So get around them.
Yep, get around them. And I tell you what, I'm getting around.
What's that?
This is actually a basketball related buy.
Wow,
I'm buying Grady Dick.
Excuse me.
I'm buying Grady Dick.
You'll have to explain that one.
Grady Dick, the Toronto Raptors first round pick.
Grady Dick.
That's his name, Grady Dick.
Oh, if you say so.
His name is Grady Dick.
No,
and I'll tell you what, he has got all the pizzazz to come with the name.
Mm-hmm.
He has, honestly, I've been watching clips from the...
Multi-positional Dick?
Oh, I don't know what position. I think he's a shooting guard.
Okay.
But this kid he oozes swag.
Nice.
He oozes swag. And with a name like Grady Dick, you need to bring You need to bring some attitude. You need to bring some swag. You need to bring some. You need to bring everything.
You need to bring some big dick energy.
And I tell you what, he does.
Yep.
And I'm loving hearing the commentary just go and Dick fires. Just, I'm going to watch the Raptors this year. I'm back on board.
I mean, honestly, as a non-Raptors man, again, my sunglasses are probably hiding the fact I was looking at you like, what are you talking about?
How did I know an NBA player that you don't know?
Well, I'm not a draft nuffy per se.
Well, I am. Grady Dick's got me back into the NBA. I did actually buy a Josh Giddey jersey, but it doesn't fit me. So I'm quickly off the Thunder. I was on the Thunder for about 5 seconds.
Well, maybe I'll buy it off. Let's talk after the show.
We can talk after the show. It's a simple buy.
Yeah, good.
Loving the Dick.
I love that you love the Dick, and I love that you love the NBA.
Yeah.
You're back.
If Grady Dick or any Toronto Raptors fans are watching, let's make some kind of group chat. I want to get involved this year. I want to be positive.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I'm like super negative, like most of the time.
Yeah, no, I like a bit of positivity.
Yeah.
Positivity from you. Positivity.
That's my last buy.
Goodbye.
Yep. Go Grady.
Sell. My first sell.
Not me.
No, I would never do that. My first sell is the Melbourne Football Club. And I have never seen a club kick more own goals in a month in the history of the game than the Demons have this month. Let me give you the timeline. So it started post-game after the Melbourne-Collingwood qualifying final when Brayshaw was accidentally, as the tribunal found, knocked out.
Yep.
And Goodwin, in his press conference, was, basically threw Maynard under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the distraction and the circus around that whole event and incident, they might say internally that they weren't distracted in that, but honestly, on the Wednesday before they played Carlton in the semi, I was like, do these guys realise there's a game happening in 2 days? Like it felt like they could not be distracted to some degree, even if it was 1%. When you lose a game by one goal, maybe that's all it took. So I thought I was bemused by the whole reaction and how they handled that. And then postseason we've got Clayton Oliver. I'm not going to delve into the whats or whys or whatever. And then to round off exactly 1 month from the Brayshaw incident, we had Stephen May
says hold my beer
on the happy gas talking about how they should have smoked Collingwood, and that's fine. You can say all that, and normally you don't say it publicly, but as a Collingwood supporter, if there's one thing I could wish for heading into the 24 season, it's motivation.
Yeah.
They've just climbed the mountain.
Exactly.
What can happen that could help them?
That's what you need. You need something.
And what you need is a prominent opposition player saying, we reckon you fluked it, we're better than you.
Yep.
There you go. There's your precedent. Oh, we'll prove that we didn't fluke it. Let's do it again. Like, what a month of own gols.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, the only thing I'm really going to touch on there, I mean, Stephen May thing's silly. Like, I mean, I know a lot of professional athletes, they're just wired that way, right? Where they feel that.
Which is fine.
Because Jordan Dawson came out and said that he...
Yeah, quite similar, yeah.
Yeah, he said he texted a group chat saying, take a good look,
yeah,
boys. I was okay with that.
No, that's fine. But
like young group, whatever.
Yeah.
But the Clayton Oliver thing, like it sits like the wrong way with me.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we're talking about someone who's younger than me, right? And I'm a young man.
Yeah.
Like I'm 32 years old. If I was going through something like that, I would want there to be some level of care.
Yeah.
And I feel like there has been a real lack of that. I'm not going to name names in the media, but there have been some genuinely horrific opinions.
I think some people have had days they'd probably would rather take back.
And for me, from looking at as one human being looking at another human being who's potentially going through some stuff, it sort of makes me feel a bit sick in my stomach seeing.
There's been a lack of empathy, I would say.
Very lack of empathy. So, whether he plays footy again, whether he stays at Melbourne, goes to play anywhere, my only real concern right now is for his well-being and whether.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I am just. It was just my own opinion.
Yeah,
about whether it was
yep.
leaked or not. Like it may absolutely not have been. You hope not. But I just think as a whole, that club had a shocking month.
Yep. Oh, I couldn't agree more. Bad month, and I hope Angus Brayshaw's doing all right as well because
absolutely, of course,
history of concussions and
same as Nathan Murphy, which is
I did.
They're both in the same camp, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is pretty scary. You saw him fairly broken up. I've had a number myself, and I can attest to how dark of a place it can be.
Yeah, well, he's had 10 now, and that's starting
a lot.
to get into bad areas.
Yeah, so hopefully for both of those,
as long as they all put their health first, because post-career is a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. My first sell is a absolute flog named Jarvo.
I know who you're talking about. Yep.
Thank God you know who this is. So, for those who don't know who Jarvo is, it's some fat meathead from England who, for some reason, he must be like a YouTube pranker or some crap.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Who, for some reason, shows up to cricket games full kit.
Yep.
And just walks onto the field and
I don't know how he gets on so often.
And he wears a 69 on the back of his jersey.
That's a bit naughty.
Oh, hilarious. Very clever. I don't get it. Like, this is some of the most self-absorbed behaviour you could come across. There are no people who are interested in this.
Yeah, you're not entertaining anyone, you're just being a pest.
You honestly are. You are genuinely being a pest. And
Peter Hall. Do you remember Peter Hall, the serial pest?
Oh, because that's the guy who was at the Australian Open and the Melbourne Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Australia-Uruguay Cup.
Oh, gee whiz.
Yeah. Same wheelhouse.
Yeah. Honestly, this is probably the only time you'll ever hear me say something nice about Virat Kohli. Because he's done it to India a couple of times.
Yeah.
It may actually only be India he does it to.
Okay.
So yeah, he's obviously caught, and Virat Kohli's gone over to him and he's given him a bit of a barrage. So honestly, hats off to Virat Kohli. I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah.
And this flog, honestly, just needs to ship off. I don't know, go to Ibiza where the rest of you irrelevant, overweight Englishmen go to try and feel something.
Let's hope he storms a UFC fight or something.
Oh,
and then someone just gives him the ground and pound.
Fighting. But seriously, I saw the news of him coming on, and I was just like, surely we're above this. Talk about the pandemic of people. It's just crap.
Now ship off Jarvo, you flog.
Yeah,
marinated in flog sauce.
Dripping. It's a lot of flog sauce too, because he's a big boy.
My next sell, and it's sort of similar. There's a few people doing it in the World Cup and whatnot. And if you're doing it in local cricket, pull your head in. It's bowlers who are bowling with headgear. And by headgear, I mean keep your cap on or got your bloody speed dealer sunnies on or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a no-no.
It's a no-no.
Yeah, it's a no-no.
It's floggish behaviour. You're not
headbands?
cool.
Where do you stand with headbands?
I'm okay with headbands.
Okay.
But that's it.
Yep.
But sunglasses, caps, take it off, respect the game, hand them over to the umpire and just go about your business.
There are two people who can wear glasses.
Who's that?
While they bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The GOAT. Nathan Lyon. Yep.
See, I'm no.
Yep. I'm overruling you.
Okay, overruled.
And Mark Waugh.
Well, I love Mark Waugh. He can do whatever he wants.
They're the only two people who can wear.
And Todd Murphy, but they're different type of glasses.
Yeah, he needs those. And we actually
the prescription.
We're going to need him to see where he's bowling. So so three people. So they all happen to be Australian.
Yeah. But anyone else, just don't do it, and especially local cricket. Just take your hat off.
Take your hat off. It's not hard.
Off. Just you're not you're not cool.
You walk. You're not
It's
cool.
TV cricket from you. Take them off.
Yeah, and you're on Frogbox too, so we'll see.
We'll see it, and just respect the game.
It's not hard.
No.
All we ask is that you respect the game.
So if you think I'm targeting you, if you think I'm talking about you,
I am.
then I am, and pull your head in.
Because we've watched the tape.
We know who you are.
We know who you are. That's a good one.
Thank you.
My second sell, you're definitely not going to know who this guy is. This is a guy named Zach Hampel, and I don't even care if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Now, this is a guy who's a baseball pest.
Okay.
This is a guy who he brags about, catching home run balls. So he's caught thousands of...
Oh, so he's just a crowd dude.
He's just a crowd
He's
dude.
not a baseballer.
No, he's a baseball fanatic who goes to all these baseball games and catches balls and whatever. Yeah. And he's like he's a YouTube celebrity and all this just crap. I swear, America breeds these.
Yeah,
these
I know.
Like any other country, no one
influencer culture, which is it's a nonsense.
It's trash. So the reason why I'm selling him is because he came back into my news feed.
Yep.
And I was like, I can't stand this guy. And then it led me to a tweet from a little bit of an old story.
Okay.
So the MLB actually played a game in some kind of military base.
Right.
Now, you could only go to this game if you were an active military, if you were actively serving in the military.
Or a veteran, or just actively serving?
Or a veteran.
Yeah.
And so there was a special way where you bought tickets or whatever. So this guy went down to the area, right? And there's photo. This is genuine.
Yep.
So this guy went down to whatever area it was, and then went on Tinder, created a Tinder account with him. Mind you, the photo is him laying on a bunch of baseballs, right?
Yeah.
And his profile he's basically him bragging about what he is. And he was like, look, I need someone who's an active or a veteran to buy me a ticket.
Yep.
Because they obviously need some kind of proof or whatever. And he goes, I'll pay you $1,000. He's like, I'm just here because I know I want to get baseballs.
Yep.
So this man stoops to this level where, like, don't get me wrong, I've been to a baseball game. I want to get a baseball.
Sure.
But for this sort of stuff, he's like 47.
Yeah.
And what he does is he'll catch a baseball in front of a kid.
Oh, yeah, one of those blokes. Yeah.
Yeah, and like he's got thousands of baseballs.
Yeah.
And there's just something really wrong about what he did. Like I'm not going to be like I'm not like a Navy SEAL or whatever, a vet, or I don't have like,
I can't comment on whether I am or not.
Yeah, exactly. With those glasses on, I'm worried about who you're serving.
Mm.
But I just find that I found that story so wrong. That like,
stooping to that level.
Stooping to that level is just unbelievable. Like, how self-serving is that?
Yeah, and shame on the person that let him in.
100%. If you needed $1,000, you should have come to one of our many sponsors because they would have.
We would have looked after you.
We would have looked after you.
Auto Tune in Diamond Creek.
Ultra Tune.
Ultra Tune.
We may have just lost our only sponsor.
Damn it. Hang on, start again. Ultra Tune in Diamond Creek.
But just it needed to be sold. I don't know if it's a strong sell, but
it's a good sell because
it needed to be sold.
We work the full spectrum of the sports and pop culture world, and that is smack bang in between there.
Yep, right between the eyes, Zach.
Right between the eyes. So Zach, get on the smack bus, mate.
Yeah, take a seat next to Big Phil Gould.
Yeah, piss off.
Yeah.
My last buy, and you might be able to. I suppose this might resonate with you in some degree as being a national traveller. Various hotels around Australia and potentially the world. And look, it might be a little bit first world problem. In fact, it probably is.
This is sounding real first worldy.
But what I am selling is hotel pillows.
Oh no, that's 100%. They're shite.
Rubbish.
Yep.
And I've always had a bad back and neck. Like I've got to maintain a a positive posture. I regularly see osteo and g'day to Dr. Roth if you're listening.
Shout out.
But the pillows situation in hotels is horrible.
Yeah, it's always one way or the other, right?
Well, for me, they're always way too soft.
Yeah,
like
right.
They have zero volume.
You're a firm operator.
I like it firm.
Yeah.
And anything too soft is in the no basket. And I literally, there's been times where I'll throw all the pillows aside, grab like a cushion from the couch because that's the only firm thing in the room.
Shout out to Grady Dick again.
But yeah, I don't know if you can relate. But
I'm a firm pillow operator.
Yeah, same. So
I've actually had the same. I've had the same pillow since I was about 18.
Yep.
Actually, shout out to my first girlfriend. Her mum actually got it for me for like my birthday for some weird reason, or Christmas.
But that's actually a great present.
Unbelievable. I still use it.
Yep.
So shout out to her.
Shout out to her if she's listening.
I doubt she will be. But I dread going to anywhere without my pillow.
Yeah, but it's hard to take your own pillow.
Oh no, I would not. I'd never take my own pillow.
No, exactly. So
I just put up with it.
Exactly, same as you. But gee whiz, it can really ruin your travel experience.
Oh, 100%. Especially if you're, I'm actually a little bit nervous because we're actually going like caravanning. So in like a couple of weeks, we're going caravanning through WA.
So you won't take your own pillow?
Oh, I'm not sure yet.
I think you should.
I mean, this convo, potentially.
I think you should.
So yeah, I'm a bit nervous about that.
Yep.
Because I'm a very particular sleeper.
Same, yeah. I am a nightmare in the sleep department. So,
same.
But yeah, soft pillows. Hotels, just give us an option.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give us. I don't care if it's too firm, but just give us something. Don't just give us all this soft nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, first world problems and apologies. But yeah, that's my last sell.
Yeah, I'm going rogue with my last sell.
Roguer than that?
Oh yeah, it's. You know what? I don't know. That's fairly rogue. So, have you ever watched the show Suits?
Yep.
I never finished it.
Nah, it turned to shit, I reckon.
Well, I'm currently in season 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I'm going to finish it, but I'm seeing how crap it's turned.
Yeah, right.
I'm actually selling. My last sell is Jessica Pearson.
Jessica Pearson. Is she a character in that show?
She's the managing director of
Pearson
Spectre Lit.
Did she have red hair or something?
No, she's the lead lawyer of the firm.
Oh, I can't remember her head, but yeah, okay.
I'll show you a photo.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need you to be on board with this.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, this sale is just not going to make sense.
Okay, well, let's bear with us, please.
Yeah, bear with us, please. Jessica Pearson. There you go.
Oh, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep, sorry, yep.
So,
of course. And we'll put a little link to her head in our...
Yes, just in case.
In the bio.
Should be on the non-context post.
Look out for the non-context.
So the reason why I'm selling her is, so the whole premise of Suits, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear, just fast forward or end this episode.
You've missed
I don't
the boat.
care.
You've missed
the boat. They hire a fraud.
Yeah.
Mike Ross never went to law school.
Yeah.
And she's in on it, right? And she's always parading around, about, calling, him a fraud and all this sort of crap.
Yeah.
She's broken the law. She's broken the law more times than I've ever seen anyone in a TV show. And that's including, like, bad guys. Like Walter White didn't break the law as much as she did.
Yeah.
And that's not even the thing she broke the worst. She broke Jeff Malone's heart. Now, Jeff Malone was a lawyer who she was dating.
Yep.
Right? And she's just, for someone who's supposed to be like a managing director of a massive law firm in New York.
Sounds a little bit...
She's unstable. She's unreliable. And there was so much hypocrisy with her words and actions that I've had enough. Like, honestly, I had enough. Like, she broke Jeff Malone's heart.
How dare you?
By not telling him the truth. When, and then she was like, I wanted to tell him the truth, but then it's too late. You know what? bad luck.
No.
You've lost a good man.
Yeah, that's on you,
It's on you. So
girlfriend.
I'm selling her because she's one of my least favorite characters in TV land.
In TV history?
Yeah. Yeah, she lost me early on because she's too tough. Right? She's too tough. Doesn't care. I don't think she cares about her staff. And you know what? It's a dictatorship style, my way or the highway. And that's no way to lead it. That's no way to lead a company, in my opinion.
No, you can't lead a law firm like that.
No, you can't lead any company like that, in my opinion.
I will confirm that this is much more rogue than my Hotu pillows, by the way.
It is rogue. If you're wondering what I've been up to since footy's finished.
Oh, we need sport. Someone, anything.
Oh, we need sport desperately.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
I like that sell because I like the random ones. I like the little rogue ones that spring up, and that's definitely one of them. So well done.
Welcome, Jessica.
Jessica, you're on the smack bus.
If you do any more shady stuff, I'll put you up in front of the bar myself.
Yeah,
I don't care. That rounds up.
It wraps up the stocky.
Yep, rounds up the stocky. We promised it. We didn't really promise it, but we
preempted it. We did. It was a mild threat.
A mild threat about just going through some of the early shenanigans of what we've seen in the silly, silly season.
Trade period. I bloody love it.
Yeah,
I love it. So I mean, Todd Goldstein to Essendon.
Look, I think I text you. So you spoke about, how much you love the trade period and that.
Yep.
And I sort of text you off air about like how much I sort of loathe some of the parts of this. The trade week, premiership winners, the use of buzzwords like haul or loaded, all this sort of
money ball.
Yeah, all just it's just like crap. Like, look, I mean, Essendon. So Essendon look like they've got Ben Mackay, Todd Goldstein, Jade Gresham, Xavier Dersma.
Yeah, and I reckon this is your point you made earlier about this in the stock market was really good about how it gives you an indication of where they think their list is at.
Yeah.
And they clearly think they're in the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, they 100% they do.
I'm not convinced they are. And I don't know if these moves make them window open.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I don't know. What do you think?
I would agree. I think at times last year they showed that there was they showed that there was certainly thereabouts.
Yeah.
Their best is thereabouts. You can't deny that. But
yeah. I just don't know if does this beat Collingwood, Brisbane, Carlton, Giants, Sydney next year? I'm not convinced it does.
No, I think what you have to understand is Brisbane's grand final team gains. It gains Jack Payne, Duday, and Will Ashcroft.
Yeah.
Look, Todd Goldstein, as a backup ruckman to Draper. That's
look. I get that. It's probably and it's a relationship with Brad Scott. I mean, don't even get me started on the compensation they got. North Melbourne got for Harry Mackay.
It seems a bit rich.
Ben Mackay, sorry.
Ben Mackay,
That's pick 3.
Pick 3 is...
He doesn't go pick 3 in that draft.
No.
He doesn't go... He might go top 10. I doubt it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, North Melbourne were like, well, we're thinking about matching it. It's like, no, you're not.
No, of course you're not.
No, you were posturing.
So now they have 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah. Yeah, two.
I mean, it's look, let's call it what it is. It's the AFL giving them some priority picks, but doing it in a different way.
Yeah.
And surely this is the last time. This is the last. They can't get any more help after this.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I actually don't really understand a hell of a lot about the compensation. The compensation works out to be I guess what they're paid.
It's meant to be tenure, so contract length plus what they're paid each year, but it's very
confusing.
Secret herbs and spices stuff.
Yeah, and
it should be transparent, right?
Yeah, well, because I know what it is for the NHL. So the NHL, I don't know if you know what the NBA is.
I don't, but they don't get compensation for losing free agents.
That's the thing is that NHL has restricted free agents and unrestricted.
Yeah.
So you have to play I think 8 seasons to get unrestricted.
Yeah.
And so you're gone.
Yeah.
But restricted free agents, basically, if a team can poach you.
Yeah.
And the team then has the ability to match that deal.
Yeah.
And it's based on a dollar amount. So it's clear cut. And you get that team's pick.
I think, honestly, the AFL should lose compensation for losing free agents. That's the market. And you're either good enough as a club to hold that player, or you lose them and then use that cash somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or they continue this, but you got to make it transparent.
Make it transparent.
Which I'll never do, because that means you're basically...
you leave yourself open to it can be rorted.
Oh, no. Well, in terms of, if we tell the public what the figures are, then play waivers in public, which I don't want to do.
Which I don't want to do, yeah. They need to get rid of it.
I think so, for sure.
Because the only thing it does is it just holds up. It just holds up deals.
It does, and it's
there's posturing with deals.
Yeah,
we want to.
But again, this is the whole machine they built where they want this. They want this to drag on. And they want the clicks. But yeah, I don't. As I said, there's no in a fair market. Ben McKay doesn't go for pick 3. It's
agreed.
Craziness.
I'm not saying he's not a bad player.
No, but he's not. He's not that.
The third pick in this draft. So the third pick in this draft is likely Colby McKetcher, Zane Dersma, Riley Sanders.
Yep.
Unbelievable talents.
Yeah.
Especially Zane Dersma and Colby McKetcher. All 3 of them are unbelievable. But if I had a pick between Ben McKay and those 3, I am taking those 3
exactly
every day, and I'm running away laughing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But you're right. It does. It signals an intent from Essendon.
Yeah. Look, absolutely. Which and look, I like it. I do too. I've said this about when Freo went for Jackson. I like teams putting their plums on the table and saying, "This is you got to be in it to win it."
Same as Gold Coast when they went for Lockie Weller, right? They had all these issues with players who
wanted to leave, and here's one who wanted to come. Yeah,
they go, "All right, no worries. We got the number 2 pick. You come with us."
Yeah,
I love that intent, and that's where I think. I'm not to poo on my own profession, the analytics department or the crowd. Hello, welcome back.
Yep.
There's a dollar value, there's a trade value to every player. Right?
Yep.
Every player is worth a certain amount.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, you know what? Let's say Lockie Well is probably worth on paper the 12th pick or lower.
But you
know what? Sometimes you need to send a message. You're in a business.
Whether you're signaling intention or making a statement or just using an opportunity to bring some build culture, whatever it might be. Yeah,
whatever it might be. There are intrinsic values.
Exactly. It's not all black and white.
Yeah, it's not. No, absolutely not black and white. Yep. Speaking of, Lockie Schultz apparently appears to want to head.
Yeah, as I said, apparently he's turned into the hybrid of Gary Ablett Jr. and Cyril Rioli. I think. When someone told me, when I saw the news, I was like, "Is he any good?"
Yes,
and then I looked at his numbers. I was like, "Oh, geez, he's kicked 30+ goals last 2 years. He's actually got a higher pressure rating than Bo McCreary." And when I saw that, I was like, "Whoa!"
He's one of those players that falls under the if he played in Victoria bracket because he played in. How many people who don't go for Fremantle or are sickos like you and me watch Fremantle?
Exactly. No, I had to look again and just go, hang on, is he? Yeah, he's going to be a handful at Collingwood.
Yep.
If he gets there, and I can only assume they don't nominate clubs and not get there. Generally speaking.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I wonder what the price to pay is for that because he is contracted for a year, I think.
He's got one more year left, but then he's unrestricted.
Oh, right.
Free, so he can walk. And their compensation would be probably worse than what Collingwood have got offered now.
Yeah.
So I think Freo are going to do it. They might put up a bit of a fight, but they'll do it.
Are there any ads you want from a Collingwood perspective?
I've heard that the mumblings about Billings. I don't mind Billings as a left foot neat kick, and I reckon he'd work in that system pretty well. But again, Collingwood's window is open.
Yeah,
we're going for back to back. So if
all chips in.
Yeah, all chips in. If we think Billings can play a clean user off half back role, bring him in. I don't care about his age or history. So
I've kind of mentioned him before as a potential trade, maybe potential trade bait. Are you floating a Finley McRae out there to try and get something? Get another piece?
No, Collingwood are all in on Finn.
Right.
He's the...
Someone might need to tell Adam Cooney. He's got him in his 15-team trades.
No, pipe down, Coons. No, you can't just get rid of all... Like, we don't have a lot of... Like, Sidebottom, Pendlebury, Howe. I mean, we've just lost Adams. You can't keep getting rid of new players. You have to keep and he's had a dominant VFL year.
Yeah, no, he had a very good...
It's same with people... I've found it pretty funny how people go, oh, Schultz is in, that means Ginnivan has to go. It's like, well, no, Schultz is replacing Adams as a high half-forward role. Ginnivan is Ginnivan. He's 20. He's on a low, cheapest chips contract.
I mean, and he also...
Like, unless it's behavioural, there's absolutely no reason, or you got an absolutely stunning offer. There's no reason to trade him at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he also found himself out of the team during the year, so it's not like the two roles can't exist. Like at some point,
correct. Like
Fly McRae was like his role doesn't exist this week. So
yeah, and Bobby Hill might play in the wing in 2 years, and Bo McCreary might be
Bobby Hill play squash. Forgetting about him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then Bo McCreary might go through. But so you need a Ginnivan forward. Like, people are very short term focused during this time of the year, especially.
Yeah, big time.
What about Xavier Dersma? Are you sad to see him go?
No, not really. I think apparently according to the Volcano, his end of season meeting didn't go swimmingly, and sort of asked for more midfield time and.
Well, that's a hard midfield to crack into.
It's a hard midfield to crack into when you've got a top 5 Brownlow medalist, top 10, and you say what you want about Horn Francis.
No, he's a gun. Don't worry about that.
Any true football fan will admit he's a gun.
I did hear a rumor that Dersma was quite banged up in the finals, and probably if it was home and away, wouldn't have played due to injury. And that might, because I don't reckon he had a great final series.
No, he was terrible.
So that would maybe correlate.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem at that time of year, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he'd have a lot of friends,
and then
in that boat.
And then someone like an Essendon, do they grab him on the hope that one day his brother might want to join him, and that's
where are they drafting?
Well, they're not in the top. Well, North have got 3 of the top 4.
Yeah.
Essendon would be around 8 or 9, I'd imagine. He goes before Essendon's pick unless they can trade into that top 5.
I can't emphasise this enough. His brother is going to be a superstar.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So if a North pick him,
and
then in 3 years' time they say, well, come across to the Bombers, if North is still rat shit.
It's an interesting one because he wants more midfield time. I don't know,
I think he gets it at Essendon because
he gets more of it at Essendon, but I don't think he's not playing all game there.
Well, he's probably playing on the wing as well.
Well, he plays on the wing now.
Yeah, but I mean, you can make the wing your own. But I just think Essendon is so one-paced with Merritt and Parrish. These guys, I think Dersma adds a different look.
Yeah, no hard feelings. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, as I said, that's a hell of a midfield to try to crack into at the moment.
And we have a clear need for picks and or points. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You're after Radaglia. Who's the Essendon kid?
Zerk Thatcher. And we need some ruckmen. So, look, on paper, Radaglia, 26, just coming into his prime.
Yeah, I just feel like he's a not as good version of Alir, but anyway.
No, but the thing is, right, and this is what some people probably don't understand about Port Adelaide that I do, because all I do is live, breathe, eat, and unfortunately,
All you do is eat pear.
all I do is eat pear. The problem with Alir this year, and when he came over, he had this unbelievable All Australian year.
Yeah.
It's because he was released.
Yeah.
But our backline is so thin.
No, exactly. I'm not questioning his acquisition. I just feel like Ryder Cup probably plays that needs to be freed up role rather than just your boom boom see ball hit ball gorilla type role. I don't know.
I highly doubt they haven't been super open and transparent with him.
His new role will be.
What his new role will be, or maybe they're thinking along the lines of we've got a Lever and a May sort of a setup.
Yeah, true. No, 100%. Yeah.
So Zerk Thatcher adds more depth to a backline that doesn't really have any depth.
Yeah.
And we need ruckman more than I need serotonin some mornings. So Jordan Sweet Jordan Sweet was a VFL ruckman of the year.
Yep.
Hasn't looked too bad when he's played for.
No, well, I mean, he's behind Tim English, so he's not going to get a game, so that makes sense.
But moves pretty well. Like there's plenty to work with there, and then I think they're trying to get Ivan Soldo. So yeah, look, like Ruck's clearly been out.
Yeah, it was clearly an Achilles heel.
Achilles heel,
last year. So just quickly before we leave the power, Travis Boak, should he play on?
Yes.
Ollie Wine, should he stay?
Yes.
Okay, very good. One club I did want to quickly touch on, and I said this in a chat I was in, and again, this is maybe Collingwood aside, but if you ask me now who I think play off in a grand final next year, I would say it's probably Sydney versus GWS, and I say that because of the Sydney bounce back after a grand final loss.
Yeah.
Young list. If they can get Adams, Grundy, they've just grabbed Harms, I think it was, or no, Jordan.
James Jordan. Harms went to the Western Bulldogs.
They're doing what Essendon doing, but they've got a much better list to do it with. They're topping up. They're ready to go. And again, I think Giants are on that same Collingwood trajectory where they'll come hard next year. But that aside, Sydney's moves, I like.
Yeah, Sydney's moves signal. You know what my worry would be?
Mm.
My worry would be with their keys.
Yeah.
My worry would be their keys, and it's for a reason you might not like. It's a weird reason.
Okay.
So just be patient with me.
I will.
So we came into this season, right, spruiking Chad Warner.
Yeah.
Going like, oh, how good is this is him. This is his midfield, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was probably too much for him to carry.
Yeah.
Lance Franklin leaving is an enormous gap as a personality.
Yeah.
And, Logan McDonald has been highly touted for a while. He's been allowed to have that, I guess, that development run.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still this is still a lot for him, Joel Amati, whoever else you throw.
Well,
in
I feel like this is the Oscar Allen year for Logan. So
cool.
Once Allen, well, I don't know if he'll be as good, but once Allen had Kennedy leave, he was able to sort of naturally step up. Now that Buddy's gone, he's going to get a lot more opportunity. I feel like
if he has an Oscar Allen year, they're playing in the grand final.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good a player as Oscar Allen.
Yeah.
But to me, it sort of says getting Adams says to me that they're probably chips in on Heaney forward, and with Papali, maybe that's what they do. Maybe they just go with
they've accepted that. Hey, these guys are high half forwards.
Maybe that's what it is, or maybe they just need a stopgap for Callum Mills because he had an absolute meltdown on their Mad Monday.
Yeah, whoopsies.
Yeah,
they're one to watch.
No, I think I'm bullish on Sydney next year. I reckon they'll be they'll be top 4 in mine. And Errol Gordon, gee whiz.
I know that the Brownlows are like a long way away, and all has happened a long time ago.
Yeah,
I think he's robbed.
I thought he was robbed too.
That was actually what looked like it was going to be schnoozer actually turned into like
Epic.
a pretty crazy finish.
Yeah. Well, Gordon getting 42 and 2 goals and getting, what was it, 1 vote?
1 vote.
Oh, boy.
And even that's no one in that right mind watched that game and didn't say either Goulden or Petrarca was
No, they were
best.
clearly 1-2. I did watch the game. They were clearly 1-2.
Yeah, so that was
That was bizarre.
yeah, very, very, very wild scenes. Not to take anything away from Lockie Neal, like it's the
No, I mean, didn't make All Australian, didn't win their best and fairest, but
it's
good player.
It's a template, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. Look, this is
Yeah.
it's probably a whole other conversation, but don't touch the Brownlow.
No,
Leave it alone. Don't give them stats. Just let them leave it as it's always been.
yeah, but they made some. They
Made some boo-boos.
They made some pretty big boo boos.
Yeah, they made more noticeable.
They
boo-boos.
made more noticeable
Yeah.
boo boos than they normally do.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
anyway,
any other player movement that's raised your eyebrows?
no, not really.
Would you be? I would be 99% sure that Geelong sign Hawkins up again. But the fact he wants 2 years, Geelong only want to offer 1. If he left for 2 years, would you begrudge him, or would you say that's silly,
No.
Tom?
No, I mean Cameron Smith like almost went to the Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah,
For like the same thing.
yeah.
I wouldn't like.
He would instantly make Melbourne better.
Yeah, and look, here's my opinion on it. Right, how many flags have they won with him?
I think he's won.
Two, 3, 4?
He's a 3 or 4 time premiership.
3 or 4 time.
No, he's
premiership
3
player.
because he didn't play in the 2018. I don't know.
3. So
2008. Sorry.
this is maybe like a top 5 player in club history. Top 10.
Top 10. Yeah.
Top 10 player in club history. Easily top 5 forward.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's like arguably top 5.
Yep.
Easily top 10.
3-time premiership player.
Yeah. Leading goal kicker up the wazoo.
Leading goal kicker. If he wants to play 2 years,
Yeah.
sign him for 2 years.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like Andrew Mackey, who's now list boss, who I can only assume is a great mate, is the one digging his heels in potentially. So it does make it very interesting.
Look,
I wouldn't begrudge him myself. I think if he wants to get 2 years, this is your livelihood. This is you're retired for a long time.
This is where AFL teams lose me. How many players are allowed on a list?
44?
44. You know, they use the throwaway line of, he's taken away. He's taken away a spot from
He's a club legend. Just give him the 2 years.
Taken away a spot from a young kid.
Or just put a performance trigger on it, right?
Yeah. If there's a young kid who you're not getting in, say, the draft or whatever,
Yeah.
usually the draft, that's what the spot they're taking.
Yeah.
Chances are they're going super late in the draft.
Yeah, exactly.
You're probably not mathematically, like historically, so you're not really missing out on much.
No, exactly, yeah.
Right? So
It's very rare that a player turns
Exactly.
into a gem, yeah.
yeah, I just think from a and this is, maybe I'm not a part of the analytics community. I think if he wants to play 2 years, you give him the 2 years.
No, I agree.
You can do the performance thing. Say have a trigger if he kicks 45
Yeah,
goals,
it might be a
whatever.
games trigger, a goals trigger, or whatever it
Yeah.
might be. But I think he's deserved the right to. If he genuinely thinks he's got 2 more years left,
Yep.
then I wouldn't begrudge him it.
Yeah.
And if he thinks he needs to go somewhere else to get those 2 years, then
yeah.
do it.
No, absolutely not. I think it would be a great shame if you did. If he hit the open market, I would be.
If I was Collingwood
Holy
or
crap.
Melbourne, I'd be bloody
2 years.
easy.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. No, I wouldn't even
nothing to lose.
Wouldn't think about it for a second.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, that's one to watch.
Yeah,
I
look-
was reading a tweet about it today, but it seemed like it's starting to get a little messy.
Yeah, it feels a bit messy, which is
Yeah.
why I raised it, because I thought there may actually be a little bit smoke to that fire.
Yeah. Well, for Geelong fans, actually, I don't really care about Geelong fans. So yeah,
Keep listening though. Thank
keep
you.
listening.
But yeah,
that's
let's
probably
see how it plays out. Next potty, we can wrap up the draft and trade period and look at the winners and losers.
yes. Yeah, we'll come back to you a lot sooner than our typical
Yeah, true.
episode hiatuses have been.
Yeah, we've been under the pump.
Yep.
I've got the premiership hangover, so
Yeah, I don't. I got straight sets, so I've got plenty of time. Obviously, I've got to get through suits first. But Tim, congratulations.
Always a
again.
pleasure. And if this year proved anything, it proved shop early.
Yeah. Enjoy get the rush. Speaking of floating on air, my first buy is Mascots Trucking Kids.
What? Full enough alert. My last sale is Chupa Chup wrappers.
You're looking vibrant, relaxed, youthful.
Thank you. Yes, I don't feel any of those things, but
Neither do I. And I don't look at. Wow.
oh god, we've gone full nuffy.